So Final Fantasy 15 is getting a Windows release, so I decided after seeing some of the trailers and taking a look at it to do a brief video on it. Now, I played through Final Fantasy 15 last year, never really got a video done on it, sorry guys, but it was a decent game. It's not the best Final Fantasy ever, it doesn't hold a candle to some of the classics, and it's not just nostalgia talking, it's got some big problems with both its story and its gameplay, but it's a huge step in the right direction when you consider the disasters of Final Fantasy 13 and the fact that some fans like it and even defend it. I don't blame them. It's decent enough to check out once it hits the bargain price. Anyways, this new Windows edition popped up and I looked at the trailer and it looks really, really nice. It says the resolutions are at 4K, which I don't really care about because I don't have a 4K monitor. I don't need one right now, and quite frankly, I can't afford one. But still, it looks nice. The character models have been upgraded, and some of the textures have been upgraded because Final Fantasy 15, which originally started out as a Final Fantasy 13 spin-off a decade prior to its release, was stuck in development hell, and it does have a lot of things in the game's worlds and the character designs that just really does reek of mid-generation Xbox 360 and PS3. I didn't see Gladys' sister Iris, because to me that's the one character that really does look off-model compared to the rest of the game, and really does look like it's completely last generation. Whenever I saw her face, I was like, whoa, she's definitely last generation in the way she looks and acts, and it's kind of off-putting. So hopefully they have done some work on a few of the character models, including her. The only major change as far as gameplay that I would like to see, and I did see the Regalia fly. I don't know if that's actual an in-game power-up that you can pick up for your car, because I really didn't pay attention to the DLCs, and I really didn't pick up everything for the car, just enough to make sure that it would actually go more than a few miles without me needing to stop at a gas station. But if they can just make the car traveling faster and just a little bit more fun, that's one area of the gameplay they can probably improve on, and it's about the only area of the gameplay I would improve on. As far as story, it's decent enough. Problem with Final Fantasy 15 story, and if I ever get around to actually reviewing the game and doing an even my own story analysis on it, is that a lot of the story was broken up into different parts and into different media, and I can understand Square's decision to do that, and I think in some ways it was a very wise decision. However, they didn't do enough rewriting to make sure that all the bases are covered so we care about what's going on. If you look at the original Final Fantasy 15 game trailer, for example, we do see Noctis at his home city of Insomnia, I do believe, when it's being attacked and destroyed. Well, that was turned into the movie Final Fantasy 15 Kingsglaive. Noctis was taken out for another character completely, so we can watch that movie and see those details, and then when we play the game, we can skip right into the action. There's no several-hour preamble that happens in a lot of JRPGs, especially Square Enix games, so that I was appreciative of, but the fact that you have to spend another $10 or $15 is not. Hopefully they can cover some ground on that, maybe throw in a few more cutscenes about it. I wouldn't mind. The only other concern I have for this game, and why I might not pick it up until its budget price, is the amount of hard drive space it takes up. I think it said 150 gigabits. Yow! That's a lot for one game. As far as any other Square Enix releases that I would love to see on Steam, I am glad that Square Enix is committing the Final Fantasy series to Steam. The only Final Fantasy games that are really big that I have not seen released on Steam yet is the original two Final Fantasies, ironically. They, for some reason, don't want to port Final Fantasy Origins to the PC. I think it would do fairly well if it was a $4 or $5 game each, or bundled in at $7 or $8 would be a really decent game pack, especially if they threw in some of the updated PS1. But there is one game series that I think is extremely lacking on PC, even though they have ported it to death on mobile devices. All the games, for the most part, available on mobile devices if you want to play them. And the gameplay does fit mobile devices, but I wouldn't mind seeing a few of them on the PC, especially the eighth one, and that would be the Dragon Quest series. I would love to see those come onto Steam, especially the high definition port of Dragon Quest. Just think about it. You can have the high definition visuals that the mobile game has, and then have some of the extra features that the 3DS version has, and then have the voice acting on the PS2 had, and you can have them all in one version. Square Enix, make it happen. Anyways, this is Tommy the Game Master, just giving you a few of my rants.